Are you a solid guy who is looking to improve your communication skills with women, improve your ability to go over and initiate with new women? Are you looking to find that woman of your dreams, your future wife, the future mother of your children, in a romantic scenario, not swiping away? Yeah, you're looking to actually meet her in real life, go over, pay her a compliment, get a conversation going, and bang, you feel that spark, and the rest is history. Okay, if this appeals to you, if you're a solid all-round guy, maybe you've got your own business, maybe you've got a good professional job, maybe you've done really well, maybe you've just sold a big company, but you know there's something missing. There's something missing. This romantic spark, this side of your life, you haven't quite got it. You haven't quite got it. If that is the case, this video I think is going to help you. It's going to help you. So my name is Joseph. As far as this content goes, on this channel, I talk about dating, relationships specifically, but also daytime cold approach as well. I'll talk about some nighttime stuff as well, but mostly daytime, because myself, I've made a transition from masses and masses of nighttime approach, even being a club promoter for 4 years, into daytime approach, meeting women in the day over the last 18 months. That's how I met my last girlfriend, and this is how I've been kind of conducting my personal life over the last 18 months. So I already had about 15 years, to be honest, of nighttime, probably more. I did my first nighttime cold approach at 15, so that's 24 years ago. So it's 24 years in total. But this last 18 months made a shift into the daytime. And it's actually really cool because it just gives you a different feel. There's a different, there's just something about it which is quite difficult to put your finger on. Maybe it's also the novelty for me as well, because it's newer than the other stuff. So we're going to talk about this today. So if you're a solid guy already, the good news for you is the better you start, the faster and more easy this thing is going to come. So if you've already got good social skills, you're well dressed, you're pretty well put together, you're taking care of your health, everything is pretty much on point. For you, you're going to go from a 7, 8 out of 10 to like a 9 out of 10 very quickly. And all you're really going to be doing is you're just, it's kind of like you're just adjusting, should we say, the marketing a little bit. You're just adjusting the approach a little bit. You've already got the product. You are the product and you're already a premium product. So all you've got to do is to kind of just present that really through the approach. So the higher up you start, the better you start, the easier this whole thing is. The easier this whole thing is. One of the things with a lot of successful guys is almost by definition, most of the ways to actually achieve material success are quite cognitive, typically, unless you're like a professional boxer or something, right? Most of them is very cognition heavy. And a lot of those guys find it quite difficult to actually get into their emotions, into their emotions, basically, to put it simply. And actually, like, maybe even can be somewhat emotionally stunted. And maybe there's an ego that comes as well, because, you know, everything's going well. You're the kind of man of the place in your work. But then when it comes to actually approaching women, they're kind of like, they don't really care. So your kind of ego is just shot there, because you go over to the girls in the bar or in the street or whatever. They're not really so bothered on the front end anyway about what your position is in the world. They're really not. On the back end, you know, we're talking about long-term relationships. That is something that is quite attractive and it's quite good. On the front end, it's not what people think it is. It's not what people think it is. So yeah, that's worth just bearing in mind. You will need to just leave the ego at the door a little bit. You know, you can still have an ego, but you need to leave it at the door a little bit, because all of those achievements and accomplishments and so on, they are relevant in your presentation, but there are a few other things that are going to be more important. Number one is your social skills. Number two will be your conviction in the approach. Number 3, just how you're physically presented on the day itself when you're actually out. Number 4, your sense of certainty, right? Your sense that I've already got this girl. I've already got her. I'm just going through the details now, basically. That's what the approach is. I'm just going through the details. And that's a mindset thing, and that's a confidence thing. And so there are also, this is another trap that some successful guys are in as well, is it's kind of combination of success and actually low self-esteem. And this is actually more common than people think. There's a combination of success and low self-esteem. Yeah, there's plenty of people who are successful who've got great self-esteem. The two things don't need to be correlated. But in some people, that's going on. That dynamic is going on. And maybe the low self-esteem even drives the success a little bit for some people. Now that's actually a real problem. That's actually a real problem, because you can never achieve your way to self-esteem. You can never achieve your way to self-esteem. There's no amount of achievement you can do. There's no amount of money you can ever get. There's no amount of whatever, followers, whatever you do, right? There's actually no amount that will ever give you self-esteem. So that is something you're going to have to work on. That's something you're going to have to work on, right? However, you want to do that. That's not really for this video, but positive self-image, positive self-esteem, and also positive thoughts about the world are very important. So all of the SMV stuff that you've seen on the internet by people who, strangely enough, you never see them interacting with other people. You see them doing videos like this, like I'm doing right now. On my channel, you can actually see me interacting in the real world. Yeah? There's a good few videos like that on my channel, so you can see me in the real world. People presenting this stuff is mostly garbage. It's mostly garbage, right? The SMV that you need is be fairly well dressed. You don't even need to be well dressed, to be honest. I like to, but you don't even really need that. Yeah? But just be somewhat presentable and good social skills and carry yourself well. That's basically it. That's basically it. And beyond that, let the chips fall where they may. Okay. There are so many good-looking guys who underperform. There are so many rich guys who underperform. There's even rich, good-looking guys who underperform. Yeah. There's even a few rich, good-looking, famous guys who underperform. I'm not going to go into it on this channel, but there's a few times I've seen some Hollywood celebrities and you're going, wow, that is an interesting scenario this guy's got here. Yeah, I'm not good. Jason Momoa's ex-wife, man. She's like 60, dude. Anyway, yeah, they separate. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, self-esteem. This is very important. So that's something you're going to have to work on. You're going to have to improve, and just realize you cannot achieve your way to self-esteem. It cannot be done. Yeah. Achievement and all these things, they're good for self-respect, in the sense that if you know you're applying yourself, you are going to have a level of respect for yourself. That's kind of normal. So for me, if I'm kind of like, however I'm feeling, I would say I still have to, I'm kind of forced to respect myself. I don't even have a choice, because I know what I'm putting in. So I know there's a level of respect, but that's not enough. That's not enough. We also need self-love, self-esteem, positive image, positive thoughts about the world, right? Yeah, this is really important. Positive thoughts about the world. Yeah. And so if you've got major issues in some of these areas, cold approach is going to bring that to the surface extremely quickly, before you've even done your first approach, but definitely in your first, 5-10 approaches. So if these are issues for you, work on these. Now you can do the approach in conjunction with that. Yeah, but just realize these things may show up. They may show up. You don't need to be paranoid. Like, if they show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. It's not something that should inhibit you. So the last one here actually was about loving yourself. Self-love is independent of achievement, as I've said that. And actually, this is something it's a concept I'm starting to embrace more quite recently, actually, because self-love and self-acceptance, That really is the key to having good relationships with other people. It really is, especially women. And I think if you can imagine yourself as someone who truly loved himself, truly accepted himself, truly liked himself, like truly independent of achievement, yeah? You cannot, I will just say this again, you cannot achieve your way to self-love. That's shallow, and you know it is. If you've tried it, you know it is, because you know underneath the achievement, you go back to baseline. So you need to actually, this is something that needs to be cultivated. Yeah, it really does need to be cultivated independent of achievement. You cannot achieve your way to this. You cannot sculpt a body to this. No, that just, all that is literal narcissism. You look into the outside world, please tell me that I'm good. Please, please. But you know inside you still feel empty. So this is something that has to come internally. It's got to be internally generated. You can still do the other stuff. It's got to be internally generated. And if you do truly love yourself, and you can imagine yourself as someone who just feels good, just loves themselves, accepts themselves. I think with a woman who is well put together, you're not going to have any problems. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're not going to have relationship issues. You're not going to have relationship issues. You're not going to have issues if you extend an approach to a girl, she doesn't take it. You're not going to have any issues with that at all. It's going to wash straight off. But equally, you are going to be attractive as well. You are going to be attractive because the girl's going to feel safe. The girl's going to feel safe. The girl's going to feel safe. So that's self-love. This is big. This is big. So I think I will leave it on that. I don't think I've got any more notes here. So yeah, the last thing I'll say is on this note of self-love, self-acceptance, a woman can't give you that. A woman can't give you that. It has to come from you. So if you're in a relationship, you show up with that, right? This stuff, it sounds, I don't like to talk about these things actually. Like intuitively, I'm just kind of like, oh, that's just some, yogurt weaver, braided pubic hair. This is self-love type of stuff. It's about the grind. No. That is actually correct. That is actually correct. And as men, we actually need to take a leaf out of that book, out of the yoga mums. We actually do. We actually do. Yeah. Because we are actually able to show up like that, everything is going to flow. Everything is going to flow. And a woman can't give you this. A woman can't give you this. You show up in a relationship and you still have all these issues, self-esteem, all these things. What's going to happen, brother? You think you're going to feel good in that relationship? No, you're not. You're either going to fuck it up or you'll get some codependent person and you'll make her worse, If you're good in yourself, you will treat other people well. Not like you'll treat other people, you'll naturally treat other people in a way that's decent. It doesn't mean it's balanced, it's not simping, but it's also, it's not denigrating them or, cruelty or anything like that. Yeah, you can still give them a bit of excitement, a bit of a thrill, that type of thing, the bad boy type thing, but there's still appreciation of the other person as a human being, especially people, I'm talking about romantic relationships here, not just flings, actually romantic relationships. If you are in a good place and you love and accept yourself, truly, you'll show up properly to that relationship and you'll treat that other person well. And whatever happens, it's going to be a blessing to both of you. So, I'm Joseph. I'm your WingBro. I'm your WingBro. That's what this channel is about. It's not just daytime stuff. This is self-development, basically. It really is, not in a cheesy way. It's kind of totalizing self-development, right? Daytime approach and relationships are the lens that I'm looking at this stuff through on this channel. And yeah, I am basically your WingBro on this channel. If you enjoyed the video, if you found it useful, drop me a comment. I'm also opening, in a couple of months' time, I'm going to be opening my Ignition program, which is a short 1 month program to get guys, transfer them into this process of daytime cold approach. Because even if you are socially experienced, you've done plenty of time socializing, nighttime and stuff like that, going into the day, especially in countries like Western Europe, it really is a big adjustment because it's slightly unusual behavior. So this program actually helps you, really helps you to do that. It's going to get you into that. You're going to have actually me working with you in field, virtually. So I won't go into the details of the program, but it's basically a virtual WingBro program. It's 4 weeks long, and it's called Ignition. It's the way to get yourself up and running in this field. It's basically like your entry point into this, which you can then bounce off and take things forward. So I'll put a link in the description to that. I'm only just doing a couple of calls, opening a couple of calls per week at the moment, because I do have a professional job. Aside from all my cold approach stuff, aside from my nighttime club promotion and so on, I do have a professional job, so online, so I'm working a lot as well. So yeah, that's all you need to know about me. Hopefully that's been a useful video. Josefski, have a fantastic week.